You know, I mentioned it in the Discord when I got this, but I still have no idea why I found this on clearance. Like, did it not sell well? Was it because it's October and he's got sort of a Halloween-y color scheme? Anyway. Hello and welcome back to a Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at the Age of the Primes, Transformers Cybertron Sideways. Also, just quickly before we get into the proper review, I do want to point out that I did actually put some paint onto this to make it more accurate to the original figure and also the show. Hasbro has a bad habit of really underpainting their stuff lately, so yeah. Added the missing detail on the chest, the gold on the hands, and the missing orange on the shoulders and thighs. And there was a little bit of silver missing on the weapon, so I added that too. Alright, we understand that this figure looks a little bit better than you get if you buy it yourself. Let's get into the review. Alright, and starting off as always with the articulation. Head is on a ball joint, though that's mostly from the neck hinge, not the actual ball joint. It's pretty much just a swivel. Shoulders are on a swivel and a hinge outward. Probably could have given us a slight butterfly on that because it's a little bit awkward to pose sometimes, but that's fine. Bicep rotation, single jointed elbow for 90 degrees. Wrists are swiveled, though that is technically a transformation joint. Now, speaking of transformation joints, you do actually get a ab crunch technically, though it starts opening things up. Can also go back, both of which are transformation joints. Swivel at the waist, which isn't a transformation joint. Universal hips. They've been broken in. These knees were really tight when I first got it, but now they're fine. Ankle pivot. And hinge front to back on the foot. So despite being slightly weirdly proportioned, he is actually very articulated. Now, getting into accessories and gimmicks, or, well, the vestigial remains of gimmicks. Does have the wing blades mounted on the legs, though they can also be held in the hands, or both can be held in one hand. This also is a good time to point out I didn't add the green that's missing here on the wings, but honestly I kind of prefer it without that, and color matching this would have been a pain. So speaking of, this actually comes off, which I never actually had the original Sideways. I don't remember if that came off on the original. I remember it being on a hinge, though these were also on little struts on the legs, because he didn't parts form originally, and now he does, but we'll get into that. This is, well, it has an emitter here, so it's some kind of cannon, and they do actually include the world's smallest cyberplanet key for this. I actually have Snarl around somewhere. I probably should have got it out for the review to compare them, but this thing's like half the size of the original. It's very funny. It does actually slot in. Not that it does anything, because all the gimmicks that were automatic on this are now manual. First things first, these can pop out. And you have to bring out the secondary wings separately. Kind of wish they had like a stopgap in here somewhere so it would at least fold out on its own, even manually, you know. The other part, actually I really don't mind being manual, is you can switch him from Autobot to Decepticon, which is of course the gimmick of Sideways. He was like, you know, the spy, basically a reverse punch counter punch. I will say this does actually look quite nice. He poses really well. Now getting into transformation, I've taken off the weapons just to make it a bit quicker. First thing, put the head away. Bring this up. This hinge is really tight at least when I first got it. This around, get it seated in. That closes up around it. Gives the vehicle mode fangs using the ears. I see why they remold. Yeah, no, they changed the head. I see why they made this rat bat, because that really does look like a bat. Bring these up to get them out of the way. Next thing you want to do is bring this back and then fold this whole section down to free up the space for the arms. Rotate the arms, and then I always forget which way the hands go. Yeah. Flip it around, flip it up, and then fold both the arms in, and smush them together to get that. But I do recommend closing this up at least partially first, because it kind of sticks once you do actually get it fully closed up. Yeah, then you literally just bring this back, fold the legs this way, flip them in, fold the feet in, make sure the ankles are fully clicked in, and just fold them in as far as they'll go. Tab this into the little back wings. And there's little black tabs here that peg into the bottom of the feet, though if it's lined up, they should just automatically sit in any... There we go. And it does look a little naked right now, though I do appreciate the tiny wings on the legs. So if you did lose those, it would still be able to fly, kinda. Peg the wings onto the back. Again, originally these like hinged around, so you didn't have to take them off. And this was on the strut on the arm, so it didn't have to come off either. Oh yeah, fold that in. Then this just sits like that. And sideways is Cybertronian jet. Bat jet. Anyway, this thing looks cool. It's a little bit hollow on the underside, though I will say the added gold I put on there really does help pop the underside. Honestly, the orange does too. This thing really did feel kind of unfinished without the extra paint. Hey, that's Hasbro for you. But yeah, great jet mode. I always wanted this back in the day, but I never found it in stores, annoyingly. So, getting the remake, pretty happy about that. There's a slight weak point where they do come out pretty... It's just how they're molded. It's fine. They sit in perfectly fine, it's just don't smack them from the back. My one complaint is, as far as I can tell, there's no flight stand hole. Hasbro, you were really good at that for a while. What happened? Especially since there is one in robot mode on the back of the hips, so... Coulda, I don't know, did something. Put it right here. Even. Like, you coulda... I could drill a 3mm hole here and not cause any damage to anything important. No, I guess the rod's going through it. Here, then. Like... Or even just had it on the bottom of the hips instead of the back, so you could just plug it in both modes. Just, it feels like a missed opportunity, you know? And as for a quick size comparison, honestly, this is the average size for a deluxe these days, isn't it? So, to wrap this review up, man, deluxes are not worth the retail price these days, huh? I mean, considering I had to paint half of this thing to make it accurate, but I mean, the engineering is pretty good. I can't fault the designers. Like, the articulation's solid, the transformation's mostly fine. I do kind of wish they included at least not having the parts form of the wings. I understand the weapon. They're working with shoestring budget now. Hasbro's super greedy. Hey, I don't care. It's not like I'm getting sponsored by them. I'm far too negative to ever pick up a sponsor. Basically, if you had the original and you want to pick this up for nostalgia, go for it. You won't really be disappointed. If you want a new figure, it's pretty much on par with what Hasbro's releasing nowadays. I wish they had included the extra paint, though. I guess it just wasn't in the budget. Man, the orange on the shoulder really makes a difference. Ultimately, I miss the Cyber Key gimmick. I wish they had worked that in somehow, though budgets these days, and the fact that these are made for adult collectors, so you don't get any sort of fun stuff. I mean, like, is a spring that expensive? Anyway, if you spend the time to put in the extra paint, this thing is excellent. Out of the box, it's okay, but a little bit naked. Ultimately, I'm happy with it getting it on clearance. It's not exactly the highest praise in the world, but it's fine, you know. And that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe and hit the bell to be alerted for future reviews. Come chill in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter, if that's even still around. And consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep bringing you videos like this. And, as always, until next time, happy building.